Okay, so for today's video, I'm going to be making some black match. And one of the most important things that you want to make sure you have is 100% cotton. So I have a big thing of yarn, and I didn't really know about that a couple years ago, and I was trying to do the potassium nitrate where you make a makeshift sparkler. That one actually is synthetic, and it wasn't burning correctly, and I didn't know why. Just, yeah, like right there, 100% cotton. And then I also got a different size, so this is going to be a thicker one, and this is for your standard fuse. This one, the thinner one's going to be used for my sparkler. I'm sorry, not sparkler, these guys right here. I always forget the names, the Roman candles. But anyways, what I have here is 100 grams of mill D powder. I was going to granulate it, but then I decided to make some black match because I was making fuse the other day. Slurry. There's no specific ratio, whatever. You're just gonna put in how much you need. So I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons, pretty big ones, not really measured properly. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of water. Now for the slurry, you do want it to be runny and watery, not like if you're granulating, so you're not gonna make it, you know, where it's just like a dough or whatever. You want it to be runny. Make sure you mix it up. The good thing is when you don't put enough water in there, if you put too much water on this way, you can actually just add more black powder. Now, don't put too much water and then you don't have any more black powder left, because that's not going to be good. So here you can already see that it's really runny, but I still need more black powder. All right, so I'm going to do another amount of powder. And you just keep mixing it up. Now this water here is a ratio of 75% alcohol and 25% water. I use that for my granulation, but pretty much it'll work for this too. And you can see that I have quite an amount of water in there, so I'm just going to keep adding it a little by little. So it kind of thickens up to like a syrup. And that's what I'm looking for, but just enough. So I'm going to do a little bit more black powder just to make sure I have enough black powder in there. So I want my black match to work really well. All right, I made the consistency off camera that I wanted. So it feels a little bit heavier and it's a little bit thicker on the, like a soupy side. So that's kind of what I want. And like I said, you can make a mess, so that's why you want to make sure you keep it with some paper or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap a couple coils around my hand, and then I'm going to dip this into the black powder slurry, and then I'm going to soak it and kind of press it in there to make sure that the cotton gets saturated with black powder. So let's go ahead and get that in there. I'll probably do that much. If not, I can do a little bit more, but it's not a big deal. So go ahead and get that in there, like so. Let me go ahead and cap this guy up because I don't want to spill that. I don't need any more of that. So what I want to show you guys really quickly is, like, look at that slurry that I made. You can see how when it dries, it makes a like a residue of black powder, which is what I like. That's pretty good. And then make sure it doesn't get knotted up, which I can feel that it wants to, but just kind of roll it around in there, mix it up, push it into the fibers. That way it saturates the center and it makes a nice core like this. So, and then once I'm done pulling it through, I'm gonna try to see if I can get it to go through one more time. 2 passes should be enough, but now that I have it in there, see what I'm saying, where it wants to get stuck? That's the issue that I was going to run into. I knew it. So I'm going to try to pull this guy back out. And then I'm going to try to see if I can untangle this guy and this guy here. Super messy, but I didn't really have another way of holding this guy so it doesn't tangle up like that, because I knew that was going to happen. I can already feel it tangling up. It's already getting stuck on something. I don't even have anything in there though, which is kind of weird, but yeah, it's probably going to take a little bit. It also may be that it's straining too much of the slurry off, so that's probably another reason you don't want it too small of a hole. So let me go ahead and cut that off, and then let's go ahead and just do it by hand, so that way I have a maximum you know, saturation of the string. So you can use this jar. If you don't want to use it, like I said, don't have to. Just kind of mix it up like that. And then what you want to do is press it in, and then find the end of the string, and then just pull it like so. You can wrap that around your fingers as you're pulling, so you can kind of make it into a nice coil. That way when you take it outside to hang it up to dry, it should be a little bit easier. But because this string is all mixed in there and there's no way to keep it straight without it tangling up, that's the reason why it gets a little bit harder to keep it from tangling, but this should work out. I can feel the excess running out of my fingers as I'm rolling it through, as you can see there. All right, reached the end. So I have a nice circle there. It looks to be fully saturated. I can see that on camera. I'm not sure if it's picking it up. You can see that it's glossy and it's saturated and wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this guy here, and I'm gonna put one. Actually, I'll put in the cap so that way the paper doesn't soak up my black powder. You're gonna lose some black powder because, well, for one, I lost some of it in this jar here trying to do it that way, but I'm not really too worried about it. I have a ton of charcoal and all that, so I can just make more. That's the bad thing, but repeat the process, and once I'm done with this one, I'll restart recording again to show you guys. All right, so what we have here is I have one little screw, and I just kind of went like that in a zigzag pattern. I didn't make a whole lot because this is going to be a test, so I'll see how well that works out. So I do have some of that slurry inside. It's drying up pretty quickly. I just went ahead and used my bare hands because I wasn't going to keep using gloves, but pretty much I made a little slip knot, and then you just kind of attach it, and there's certain areas that have a little bit more, but it seems to be thoroughly saturated, so once it dries it should stiffen up, and then I can cut it into the certain sizes that I need. And that's pretty much it. So once it's already all dried and everything, I'll go ahead and do a burn test. I'm gonna wait a day or so to let it dry, and we'll see how that works out. But this is one quick method of making black match. That way, you know, if there's a shortage, which there kind of is right now, a fuse, this is one of the good methods. Or you can do the paper fuse like I was showing before. But this one is a pretty quick method, and you yield a lot more. So it's just pretty messy, that's the only thing. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. It was just a quick video on going over the black match. Now, once it's all dry and I actually do a burn test, I'll show you guys how to make a quick match out of that, which is just using a liter pipe, which is just a piece of paper, it's a tube, and then you pretty much put that inside of, you put a piece of black match inside with a couple strands, and then once it burns, because it's enclosed, it'll force the flame to go through a lot faster than what it normally burns with this black match. So that's pretty much it for this video, and if you guys enjoyed the video, just please give a thumbs up. And I want to say thank you guys to the new subscribers and all the original subscribers that I've had throughout the channel. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and until the next video.